What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Sam, and I am back with another video. So on today's topic, we will be discussing penny stocks. I'm sure you guys have heard this term before. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not. But today, we will know what a penny stock is, how do you trade it, and what are some things to look out for. So when we think of penny stocks, many people think penny stocks are stocks that are trading from the price of 1 cent to a dollar. Now, although this is true, a penny stock is really considered anything or any stock, I should say, that is below the price of $10. Okay. Now, why penny stocks are so popular, especially with amateur traders, is because a lot of people see it as a quick come up, even though it has a lot of risk. So this is a high risk, high reward kind of thing. And if you lose, it's also a huge lose kind of thing as well. Okay, so pretty much the basics on how penny stocks work, at least what people think, they go into it, they purchase a stock, let's just say, for the sake of this example, at 1 cent. Let's say they have $500 of capital they want to deploy in that penny stock. They buy it, it doubles, goes up to 2 cents, because it's very easy, at least you would think, for a stock to go up 1 cent. And essentially that's how you double your money. So if you had $500 invested in penny stock and you purchased your shares at 1 cent and you sold it at 2 cents, you would have $1,000, giving you $500 of profit. Yes, I know, sounds good, right? But here's the trick, it's not that simple. Okay, a lot of penny stocks that are trading on the market right now are actually on their way to zero. You guessed it. Yes, companies going bankrupt, and they like to use a strategy called the pump and dump, where they get all this hype, they release all this news, and they deploy a lot of capital, running the price of that company up to where you see it has a lot of action, and a lot of penny stock investors like to step in, or I should say amateur traders like to step in, buy the stock plummets, and they end up losing most of their money. Yes, so always keep that in mind when purchasing penny stocks. There is a pump and dump method that can get you trapped, and more than likely it will get you trapped. So you really have to know what you're doing. Okay. Now, when it comes to trading stocks, and we're not just talking about penny stocks, we're talking about all kinds of stocks here. I like to observe the stock for quite some time. It may take me a couple of weeks to observe the stock, just so I could get its patterns and understand how that stock really moves. Because even though there are tools such as news, indicators, I feel like the best way to really analyze what a stock is doing is observing it, right? Because you might notice some things, your subconscious mind might notice some things that give you that gut feeling, and your gut feeling is pretty much always right. Now, that might be contradictory to what I've said before in the past. You definitely don't want to trade emotionally, but we'll get into that later on down the line in making sure you follow your gut trade, and also understanding that trading stocks is not just news, patterns, it's also you observing it, right? So we'll talk about that later on down the line. But back to penny stocks. So it's very easy to find penny stocks. For those of you wondering, how do I find a penny stock? It's a quick search engine away, whether that be Google, Yahoo Finance, and there are also filters and scanners that software such as Thinkorswim has, to where you can use to plug in, whatever parameter you're looking for, whether that be how much volume stock has, or the price. Is it between the price of $1 and $10, or is it the price between the price of 1 cent and $10, right? Or things of that nature. So we'll talk about scanners later on down the line as well. Okay, so pretty much how you could look up to see which penny stocks are tradable, you could just Google it. What I like to do is take a notepad, write down the 20 that are appealing to you, right? And start crossing them out based off of things that don't meet your criteria. So when I say criteria, what are some things that you need to consider when trading penny stocks? I am huge on volume, right? So volume is basically, how much shares are being traded within a specific period of time. And usually when you look under, the stock symbol on Yahoo Finance or Google, you could see what the volume is, what the daily volume is, as well as the average volume. If something does not have decent volume compared to what it usually trades at or compared to other stocks on the market, that is a good indication that that stock is not that liquid, and there's a good chance that you might put in your order and it might take some time as opposed to executing instantly. Or even worse, you might put in your order and you might get trapped to where you think it's going to sell and it doesn't sell at all because there aren't enough people on the other end of that trade for that to execute. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, I traded penny stocks when I first started trading back when I was 18, but as I got older, more mature, and figured out better trading strategies and better companies to trade in, I decided that penny stocks were not the best thing for me to do because it can be deceiving. Okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with cryptocurrencies, and we could talk about that later on down the line as well. But that's another reason why people like cryptocurrencies, because they have so much potential. Okay, you can have something trading at 0.00000019, right? And not saying this is realistic, but if it went up to just $1, you'd be like a multi-millionaire. So that attracts a lot of people. So a lot of people gravitate towards cryptocurrencies just because of the huge potential upside it may have. Okay, so if you're looking to double and triple your money, not saying that that's the best avenue to go, but I definitely feel like that is better than penny stocks. Okay, penny stocks have a lot less potential, just generally speaking. You might get confused by the price action a little bit, but just keep in mind a lot of those companies that have penny stocks on the stock market are on their way towards bankruptcy or just ending that stock completely. Okay, so that's today's lesson. Some things you can look for are movers for the day, right? So like which stocks have the most price action today, right? Usually when something is buzzing like that, it may carry on some momentum for the next couple of days, and that'll be a good opportunity to capitalize off of the volatility of that stock, right? Because you might have something that's stagnant, not really trading too much, not too much price action going on. Next thing you know, you look on top gainers for the day. You go on Yahoo Finance, look at top gainers, top losers, break it down by most percentages, least percentages. Let's say we look at most percentages, you see a company that is up 22% for the day. You can tell there's going to be some type of action going on. Now, based off of whatever you analyze from that company, does it look like there's more room for upside, or it's going to continue to be bullish, or do you think it's going to come back down right away, or how much ever time you have to where you could make a play and catch the dip, or just completely stay away from that? Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and later on we can discuss how to use specific scanners and which indicators we can use to make better decisions when it comes to making our trades. Thanks for tuning in.